Anyway, CNN, get this. This is from The Intercept. CNN runs Gaza coverage past Jerusalem team operating under shadow of IDF censor. This is true. I think it is important that you run any reporting of war crimes past the people who just committed them first before you report them.
Didn't we just give this basic courtesy to Ukraine too? They made up a bunch of shit?
It's only fair to let them censor it.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't just let somebody else tell the truth about you without being able to speak about it first, right?
It's the censorship exchange program, Jimmy.
That's CNN's. This is real. This is a real story. CNN's Jerusalem bureau is subject to the rules of the Israeli Defense Forces censor. That's the IDF censor.
Only democracy in the Middle East.
Only democracy in the Middle East, ladies and gentlemen, which dictates subjects that are off limits for news organizations to cover and censors article it deems unfit or unsafe to print.
What, like China? Except China doesn't get to censor our literal American news also?
China's the only democracy in Asia.
So that's like putting the IDF in charge of your reporting on what they're doing. That's like putting Luca Brasi in charge of the FBI's investigation into the mob. Turns out there is no mob. Turns out, and you'll report it like that if you know what's good for you.
So you're saying that they have pictures of CNN in a dress blowing a guy like J. Edgar Hoover.
My offer is this: nothing.
And I'd like you to put up the fee for the censorship board. The military censor recently restricted 8 subjects, including security cabinet meetings, information about hostages, and reporting on weapons captured by fighters in Gaza. In order to obtain a press pass in Israel, foreign reporters must sign a document agreeing to abide by the dictates of the censor.
So that's just like any kind of Access Hollywood entertainment reporting.
Yep.
You want to get the free review copy. You don't want to not.
Is there any? There's got to be something Israel can do to look more guilty, right? Well, I mean,
okay, this would work fine. This whole thing of like censoring it, but then your own people go around saying the craziest shit I've ever heard.
Yeah,
that is actually not better than ISIS.
Yes,
it's actually people going, yeah, terrorism. We got to do that.
Yeah,
point blank.
We got to do Dresden.
Yeah, and then the chumps here, the yes men that work in media here. Like your wolf blitzers, the look on their face of like, do you not understand? You're making my job hard.
I can't believe CNN would succumb to such pressure. How about
Democracy dies in darkness.
I was praying for them from the beginning. Remember at the beginning, they said they would never even have commercials.
They did?
Yeah. Boy, how far we've come. I don't know. Maybe I'm making that up.
Yeah. How would they have paid for all day reporting nothing?
I don't know. That's what it says there in the joke.
I like the thing they're like that you can't have all day news. There isn't enough stuff to report. Really? There's not.
Remember when they said that?
The people still say it. Oh, there's not enough stuff? That's amazing. There's not enough stuff to report.
There's not enough stuff to report. Wow.
Yeah.
The policy stands in contrast to other major news outlets, which in the past have run sensitive stories through desks outside of Israel to avoid the pressure of the censor. On top of the official and unspoken rules for reporting from Israel, CNN recently issued directives to its staff on specific language to use and to avoid when reporting on violence in the Gaza Strip.
Oh, this is like the Trump directives that they had no problem with. But now a bunch of them are like, hey, I really believed in our stupid thing.
CNN, like other American broadcasters, has repeatedly agreed to submit footage recorded in Gaza to the military censor prior to airing it. So everything you see on TV is being okayed by the Israeli military.
Well, isn't that what an aircraft carrier does? They're an aircraft carrier. An aircraft carrier, you send them all your information to the censor for you.
So in order to get access to the Gaza Strip, so the Israeli military will only give journalists access to the Gaza Strip if you first agree to submit your footage that you record there to them so they can censor it.
Are you saying Douglas Murray's blistering takedown of Hamas?
well, because CNN remarkably, they let them in. I don't know why they did that. They did a couple of really good pieces showing the horrors inside Gaza.
Reported something about
on
this.
CNN.
No, that's not going to happen again.
That's not going to happen again. Exactly. Right. That's why they're doing this.
I just spilled some tea on me. I got a button. So listen to how they put it in this article too. So you have to submit your footage recorded in Gaza to the military censor prior to airing it in exchange for limited access to the Gaza Strip, drawing criticism from those who say the censor is providing a filtered view of events unfolding on the ground. Isn't that the definition of what a censor does?
Like,
they're going to
why are they censoring it? Oh, you forgot this stuff. Put this in.
Yeah. It is in a situation where a government has been credibly accused of singling out journalists for violent attacks in order to suppress information. To give that government a heightened role in deciding what is news and what isn't news is really disturbing, says Jim Narakis from Fairness and Accuracy in Reporting.
When they shoot you anyway after you did their little dance for them, that should be disturbing.
Boy, nothing suspicious about a country that has violent attacks on journalists, right? Wow.
It was a terrible accident.
Well, and then they don't know why nobody believes them when they make claims about what happened on October 7th.
Yeah.
You assassinate journalists, deny it. Investigations have shown that you assassinate journalists. So nobody trusts you.
It's called self-defense.
It's not about Me Too unless you're a Jew. It's about you guys are a bunch of degenerate liars.
Is that a thing?
Now nobody trusts you.
Wait, what is Me Too unless you're a Jew?
This is the phrase that they've come up with, trying to get it to catch on. Yeah, because everyone has been skeptical of their claims, and actually, as we covered the other day, they have good reason. You had the New York Times claimed somebody as a victim of assault whose family came out and said there's no evidence of that.
Me Too is
so they're
dead.
Trying to say the only reason people are skeptical of Israeli claims is because they're anti-Semitic, not because Israel has a long history of lying about every claim that they make.
Wait, so Biden is Jewish?
Yeah.
So get this, on October 26th, get this. CNN's News Standards and Practices Division sent an email to staff outlining how they should write about the war. Because, you know, all really good journalists out there always go off a reference email from the upper office long before reporting on the actual story. That's how you know.
Well, that's what
I'm sure Chris Hedges, before he was reporting on the Iraq war, was like, wait a minute. What did the guys back at the Home Office in New York Times want me to say about this? Let me go to my handbook. I'm sure Seymour Hersh. This is on Hamas controls the government in Gaza, and we should describe the Ministry of Health as Hamas controlled whenever we are referring to casualty statistics or other claims related to the present conflict. That's one of the directives.
You know, if you keep doing that, eventually it loses its sting.
Yeah.
If you keep throwing the right-wing Jimmy Dore, like, all that bullshit you do where you throw some stupid thing, like people are losing their giving a shit about that rapidly.
And in the underlying statistics have been derived from the Ministry of Health in Gaza, we should note that the fact that this part of the ministry is Hamas controlled, even if the statistics are released by the West Bank part of the ministry or elsewhere. So lie. So they're saying just flat out lie.
Oh, keep saying Hamas so that people just think Hamas.
So even if the stats came from the West Bank, which is not Hamas controlled, or elsewhere, just keep saying it's Hamas controlled.
You should have wrote it different. We should describe sorry, guys.
This is what they've been pushing all along. This is when they had Satan's crafty minion Regev going on all of the shows. That was what he was really pushing every time they brought up a statistic. This is what Hamas wants you to hear. This is what Hamas. Even the Washington Post, even the New York Times, all of these outlets came out and said we've always found their numbers reliable. They're used by everybody. Yeah. There's no reason to doubt them, but they've been pushing and pushing because it's about narrative control. It's about propaganda. It's a war of propaganda.
We should describe the Hamas of Hamas as Hamas controlled.
Yeah, exactly.
They just throw Hamas in front of everything.
Yes. The email goes on to acknowledge CNN's responsibility to cover the human cost of the war, but couches that responsibility in the need to cover the broader current geopolitical and historical context of the story, while continuing to remind our audiences that the immediate cause of this current conflict, namely the Hamas attack and mass murder and kidnap of Israelis. So that's all they want you to keep talking about is October 7th. They don't want you to cover the broader current geopolitical and historical context. And I think we all know what that means. It means you understate the casualties and you overstate Israeli victories. That's what that is.
Okay, when we did that, after 9/11 started killing, we spread it out over about 20 years.
Yeah.
We didn't immediately try to wipe them all out at once and get greedy with our killings. We understood you got to do it slowly because people are going to go, after you go mass murder and you outscore the original murders by factors of 10 or 20, it's going to seem kind of lame to say, oh, the mass murder. They killed 20,000 now.
In a separate directive stated November 2nd, Senior Director of News Standards and Practices David Lindsay cautioned reporters from relaying statements from Hamas. So this is the head guy. It's one of the head guys at CNN says, as the Israeli-Gaza war continues, Hamas representatives are engaging in inflammatory rhetoric and propaganda. Most of it has been said many times before and is not newsworthy.
Oh.
We should be careful not to give. So don't report what the Hamas leaders are saying.
This is beautiful. All the wokey bullshit language that all these assholes were all. Did you platform him?
Did you platform
him? If you say platform, I want you to make a COVID helmet out of a plastic bag. That bullshit was all. Now you see what that was for.
Yeah.
So that when this happens, then the thing that you thought you were on the right side of history, now it's being used against you. You got to take, some good from the massacre.
Yeah. So here's my favorite part of this. I buried it. CNN hired a former IDF soldier to contribute writing and reporting to CNN's war coverage. Tamar McIlhany's first byline appeared on October 17th, 10 days after Hamas's attack on southern Israel. A frickin' IDF soldier. CNN hired an IDF soldier to write news stories, not to come on and give commentary, but to actually write news stories.
And not a disillusioned one like many of them where they find out it's murder. One that's been on board the whole time.
Since then, her name has appeared on dozens.
Oh, she wasn't in combat. That's why.
Dozens of stories citing the IDF spokesperson and relaying information about the IDF's operation in the Gaza Strip. Oh. At least one story bearing only her byline is little more than a direct statement released from the IDF.
She's from the Instagram Bikini Corps. I'll bet you anything. She's from the bikini wearing, not the has to go in and fight one. That's the PSYOP division of IDF.
Yeah. So, she's right. Yeah. So, according to her Facebook profile, Tamar McIlhany
there you go.
Served in the IDF spokesperson unit. She's a division of the Israeli military charged with carrying out positive public relations, both domestically and abroad.
Yeah.
Last year, the spokesperson unit was forced to issue a public apology for conducting psychological operations or psyops against Israeli civilians.
Of course. How do you maintain apartheid without doing it to your own people?
McIlhany recently locked her profile, which does not indicate the dates of her service in the IDF, and she did not respond for a comment. The CNN staff member described how the policy works in practice. War crime and genocide are taboo words.
Well, because they're genocide. If you say them.
That's right. Israeli bombings in Gaza will be reported as blasts attributed to nobody.
Wait, is that written down or just say blast and then the note is attributed to nobody? Or is someone going to write that out?
I don't know. But until the Israeli military weighs in to whether to accept or deny response. So they're only going to report them if Israel says we did it.
That's called self-defense.
Quotes and information provided by Israeli army and government officials tend to be approved quickly, while those from Palestinians tend to be heavily scrutinized and slowly processed. Hey, this segment was brought to you by our advertiser, Epstein Island Getaway. Learn how blackmail will help you see the light. Hotel California has got nothing on Epstein Island. You'll never really leave it, and it never really leaves you. Okay. So there you have it. Over to Russ.
Wow, that is somebody's getting blackmailed. Now you know what Epstein died for.
That's right.
Yeah.
Can we go to cards?
Oh, yeah, let's go to a card.
Hey, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down there for more AM Joy and the rest of MSNBC. And click on any of the videos right here to watch the latest interviews and highlights. And you can get more videos from MSNBC for free every day with our newsletters. Just visit